Good afternoon, everyone. Country Flyboy here, and we've switched trucks again. I don't know what happened. My Peterbilt's just not available right now. It's saying the mod's not there. Frickin' workshop mod. Someone must have took it off, and that's the third time this has happened. I think third. I swear it's the third. It's at least the second time that's happened. I've shown up to drive it, and it's just not there because the mod got taken down or something. So next time I see it, I'm just gonna frickin' make a copy of it and keep it myself. Because damn. Anyway, we're in a rental right now because I just spent all that darn money getting that truck, and I didn't have a lot of money for my company, so I just had to get this cheap-ass rental Kenworth W900. But you know what? I've never driven the W900. I think I drove it, a mod for it in Euro Truck Sim, but I haven't driven the default one in American Truck Sim. So we have a day cab Kenworth 900 here. And we're just going to real quick, first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn down that dashboard backlighting. Position our camera where I like it, a little bit closer, up a little bit, I think. Yeah, just a tad. I'm going to take that down. Then we'll position the mirrors. I want to have just a little bit of the truck showing in the mirror. Don't have any freaking hood mirrors either. I'm gonna have to rely on my side mirrors here. Number 5. I want to have just a little bit of the truck showing in the mirror for orientation purposes. Yep. Alright, let's get started up. We already got a job picked out. Now this truck is entirely... whenever I say I get a rental truck in American Truck Sim, I mean I just buy one for the dealership. I don't customize it or nothing. This is entirely how the dealership gave it to me. And if I remember correctly, it's just a 330 horsepower with a 13-speed transmission. Alright, let's put it in reverse. Turn the brake off first. Put it in first gear. Now, when the Kenworth W900 first came to American Truck Sim, it actually didn't have a gear shifter indicator. You see the trip economy right there, and you can see the gear I'm currently in. It didn't have that at first. So you had to actually count your gears with this truck, which was a lot harder to do for most people in American Truck Sim if you don't have a physical gear shifter. If you're like me and you're just using the 360 controller, or worse yet, the keyboard. So yeah, it wasn't the best in the world, but they added the, I think that's default. I don't remember ever having a mod that adds that, so they must have added that themselves. But other than my truck deciding to fuck off, this is largely how it was in the last video. So I had literally just bought that truck too. That ticks me off. And this is the second or third time that's happened? Yeah, I'm definitely just freaking downloading it. Next time I see it on the workshop, I'm making a copy of it and keeping it. And I want the mods to be on the workshop because it's easier to keep them up to date with the workshop, as opposed to having to go to God knows, like three or four different websites to find the various mods and see if they're the latest version. And people don't always write the best readmes. At least with the workshop, everything is standardized and can be kept up to date automatically. That's so nice, as opposed to, like I say, readmes are terribly written. A lot of people write terrible readmes. I don't know what it is. The art of writing a readme for a mod or something is just lost on a lot of people. By far, the worst offenders are LSPDFR mods. Holy crap. Some of the worst written readmes I have ever seen. They might be fantastic programmers, but they cannot write a readme to save their life. They failed that part of the course. I mean, when I write readmes for my flight sim scenery, I always use a PDF. You know what? I guess that's going to be the topic of this video. This trip we're going on is a short one, so why not? Hey, look, it's the snowman trailer. Yeah, that'll probably just be the topic of this video. What we'll talk about, the art of writing a readme. Let's go pick our trailer up before we do that, though. Truck stopped in the middle of the intersection. What are you playing at, buddy? Yeah, right down here is where I figured it was. We're picking up some cars from a local Tesla dealership. I don't know why the maker of the mod that changes all these signs to real stuff chose to make the car dealership Tesla. I don't know why, but... because it is a dealership, not a distributor. It would make more sense if it was a car manufacturer or something, but it's not. It's a dealership. Alright, looks like we're picking that trailer up right there. Dude buying a car? Or thinking about it? Just line that up right there. We'll just back her on in. Turned that one a little too early. I like how most of these parking lots, they got tire marks to show you exactly where to go. If you notice that. A little off there. I'm gonna set the brake. And we'll take a look at our truck here. Yep, got some brand new cars, or maybe not brand new, might be used cars. Let's raise the legs. Alright. And real quick, we'll look at the map. Let's see, hold on. Need to look at the manifest first. Okay, cars heading to Barstow. We have 11 hours to do it. Now we go to the map. It's a 2-hour trip. 2-hour in-game. That 11 hours, you saw it was highlighted in blue. That means it's 11 hours real time. We're just doing a quick hop over to Barstow. It shouldn't take that long. Oops. There we go. Alright, let's put in second and we'll pull on out of here. Watch the trailer so you don't hit anything. All these cars probably cost a lot more money than I make. Nobody's coming. Just turn right onto the road here, hit the curb with the trailer. Hanging a right, not going into downtown. We can just stick it right on red. I want to go onto the multiplayer on the European server one day. That ought to be fun. Hanging a left. $30 an hour. That makes sense on this road because it's a two-lane back road. 30 miles per hour on some of the roads in this game just don't make any sense. It's fine for this one. Let me get a swig of water real quick. I can already feel my voice going. Passing over I-5. FedEx ground shipping. Alright, so we're starting to get out of town now. The art of writing a README. So, when I write my READMEs for my flight sim scenery, I always use PDF documents. For the longest time, it was always text files. Everybody used text files and just write whatever. I think the reason was text files were generic and there was like no computer on the face of the earth that could not read a text file. So yeah, essentially everything can read a text file. But you know what? It's the 21st century, guys. Everything can read a PDF too. It's pretty much a standard format. If you're on a computer that can't read a PDF, odds are you're not gaming on that computer. So what's the point if you're not? What's the point of writing if they're? So what's the point? Then just use the PDF. Plus, with the PDF, you can format better. Because with a text file, you can't format. You just have the most formatting you can do is capitalization. That's it. And with a PDF, you can format. You can put pictures and effects and shit and all sorts of shit in there. And people have tried to format text documents. Anyone remember GameFAQs? Everyone trying to write, draw little pictures and shit with just the symbols off the number bar by holding down the shift key. Oh god, it was always ugly, and I don't know why they even bothered. I mean, I get it back in the frickin' 90s when GameFAQs was a thing. Now you go there now and it looks like it's from the 90s, alright? They have not updated that website forever. But yes, readmes should be in PDF format, please. I'm going to call out LSPDFR a lot here because the readmes on the plugins for that are just absolute crap. With the exception of like a handful of the programmers doing the plugins for LSPDFR, everyone else is just, readmes are terrible. It's just not a thing with them. So like the art of writing a readme, there is a certain structure to it. I usually do a cover page, and the cover page contains the logo, if there's going to be one. Also contains, you know, the authors or any credits I need to give are going to be on the cover page. In the case of flight sim stuff, I also list the requirements for it, which is usually going to be what version of the game and whatnot. In the case of LSPDFR, it would be what version of LSPDFR, what version of the game, what version of whatever the hell else you need. That's the cover page. It shows very important information, so like people who are downloading it for the first time are going to know what they're getting, and they're going to know if they could download it or not, and people who are re-downloading it or getting a new version are going to know if it's compatible with other stuff they have. They're going to know right away if it's a new version or not. And then right below that, table of contents. Table of contents and a brief introduction to the file. So usually the brief description of the file that you would put to just give a general idea, why should somebody download this? Then right below table of contents, guess what? Changelog. Please and thank you. Changelog. And then you get on to the installation. And the installation needs to be as clear as possible. And while we're on it, file or folder structure. If you're making a mod, don't recreate file and folder structure. It's a hell of a lot easier for everybody involved if you just write in the file paths in the description. The only time you need to recreate file or folder structure is if you are writing an installer or if you are using an installer like Nexus mods or something like that. That's the only time you need to worry about the file folder structure being recreated. Just put everything in a folder and just put the appropriate paths to put files in there in the README. Alright, if you look at your folder that before you zip up your mod and send it off. Oh, I am speeding, aren't I? Sorry about that, officer. If you look at your folder of your mod before you zip it up and send it off, and it looks at all confusing, you might want to fix a few things. Installation unclear, and also include an uninstall installation. In most of the cases, it's just the reverse of your installation. Were we supposed to stop there? It didn't tell us to. So do include that. It's there if people need it, especially if your mod's complicated enough to need something beyond just deleting the files. Already coming into Barstow. See, I knew this would be a quick video. Then helpful notes, like how to use the mod. In the case of Flight Sim Scenery, it's usually any special features I need to include. Like my latest scenery, Jacksonville, had some special notices operational things for the airport that I wanted to note. In the case of flight sim scenery for airports, you might want to note calm wind runways. That is very useful information to have for a flight sim airport. For most other mods, it's just going to be usage instructions or detailed information on what exactly the mod does. Then the appropriate copyright info. Don't go crazy with that, by the way. Keep in mind who you are and what you're doing. You're not a lawyer who's just writing a freaking contract for something. Just keep it simple and keep it sane. Alright, just usually my legal sections on my readmes are pretty easy. The only time I ever had a complicated one was when I did the Atlanta scenery. That one necessitated a complicated one because I was using assets from other people that had specific instructions. Most of the time, though, it's just don't re-upload this somewhere that charges money. It's pretty freaking simple. And then that's pretty much it. That's all standard README needs. I know READMEs are not standardized. That's one thing I do like about the workshop is they lay everything out in a standard format. I'm not making that red light. It makes it easy to read and easy to get the appropriate information. That's why I love the Steam Workshop a lot over downloading mods from various websites. And while I wish everyone who makes an American Truck Sim mod would frickin' use the workshop, please. One last thing. If you've ever downloaded any of my readmes for my scenery, you may have noticed if you scroll all the way down to the last page in the readme, there's usually something stupid in there. So in my case, it's always just a picture of some random anime. Here lately it's been anime girls. It hadn't always been though. Like my last one, Jacksonville, was my waifu from another waifu, whose name I always forget. Was it Miho? Miho. It was Miho from Girls in Panzer. She would be my waifu if I never found Idolmaster and met Shahaya. Ooh, should not have double shift there. Do not skip gears when downshifting. Alright, coming into... what is this? Yep, rail export here. And I bet I already know where they're going to want it. Yeah, usually the last page on my readmes is always something stupid like that. Not sure who I'm going to put next time. I think I put Sasha once. Sasha Browse from Attack on Titan. Yep, they want to know the other side of this darn stuff. Alright, this trailer is going to be a bitch, I can already tell. Get as close to this junk here as possible. Without hitting it, ideally. And then turn this thing in. Try to do a 180, but I don't think we'll be able to. No, we're not going to be able to. Alright, turn it this way then. Cool though, we got it pointed right where we need it to. Alright, get it straight. We got plenty of room to get it straight. This trailer is not as big as the Lowboy trailer, I don't think, so it's a little easier to work in there. Alright, I'm going to bring up my cheat. Good God, that's small. It's just like a Pete. Maybe that's a new thing with American Truck Sim, just the cheater mirrors are smaller. It's so small, it's really not that helpful either. Alright, let's start turning it in. Should be clear of all that other junk now. And we'll just follow the trailer back around for a bit here. This is actually one of the difficult drops too, because you run out of room real quick. So that's like all the room I have right there. I'm jackknifing. Wow, that was terrible. That trailer didn't go at all where I thought it would. Let's do this. Let's pull it up here. I thought we were clear of those tanks. I guess we weren't. I'll just back this one in from the exterior view. You can hear that engine too. Listen to that. This is actually usually how I back my trucks in. I don't really ever worry with the interior view all the time. Because this would be so nice to have in real life, I am sure. I don't drive a truck in real life, but I bet they wish they had this ability. This is just control an out-of-body experience at their will. That would be scary as fuck, though. Man, I'd so use it for mischievous purposes, too, if I had that ability. I just feel like having an out-of-body experience right now. Alright, should be right here, should be good enough. Nope, we're gonna have to pull it up a little bit. Pull it up just a little. And we got room, so we might as well make it as straight as possible. I'm guessing they're gonna load those pipes onto a train and then load these cars onto a train. Right about there, should work. Let's see, T, see how we did. Cars delivered to Barstow. Excellent job. Took 23 minutes in real time to do. I like doing these World of Trucks jobs. When the World of Trucks jobs first came out, they weren't worth a damn. They're actually pretty good now. Alrighty then, that's gonna do it for this video. Sorry for the short one. And hopefully next time we'll have something more than just this rental Kenworth. I got my eyes on a Volvo 670 actually, since I haven't ever driven that truck in both ETS or ATS, so we'll be looking into getting the Volvo. Anyway, that'll do it for this vid. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.